What if the key to a forgotten war was not buried in ancient ruins or guarded by alien kings, but accidentally fused into the chest of a sarcastic ex-con with nothing left to lose? On a dying planet scarred by secrets, Oren Dreven never asked to be chosen, never wanted to hold power older than stars. But when a silent shard begins to whisper, and enemies who should not exist start hunting him through the dust, one thing becomes clear. He is not running from the past. He is waking it. And some legends should have stayed dead. Before we start, please, please, click that card button in the top right corner to subscribe now. And be sure to ring the notification bell so you never miss a single one of our epic daily stories the moment they drop. There's a pinned comment on this video, and aliens hide the answer in plain sight. Can you outsmart them? Crack the pinned comments question to prove humanity's brain power reigns supreme. Watch every second till the end of the story. I'll be waiting for your answer. Let's dive into the story. The air smelled of smoke and rust. Beneath the fractured sky of Kirill 5, Oren Dreven crouched behind the twisted hull of a downed transport ship, clutching his side where plasma had scorched through his jacket. His breaths came fast, each inhale a knife against cracked ribs. Distant gunfire echoed across the canyon. He was not supposed to be here. Not alive, not on this planet, not part of this war. Dreven, a voice rasped through his earpiece. You still breathing, or just too stubborn to die? Oren smirked, blood on his lips. Bit of both, Kira. What's it look like from your perch? Like a funeral waiting to happen, she replied, her voice steady despite the chaos. Those Cyrex patrols are sweeping the southern ridge. You need to move. Now. He risked a glance over the smoking edge. The ridge she mentioned loomed with movement. Gleaming exosuits, red visors scanning, merciless. Oren ducked back down. They are early, he muttered. They're desperate, Kira shot back. And you? You are the key, remember? He did not respond to that. He hated being the key to anything. All he had done was steal a data shard from a corrupt noble who happened to be linked to Cyrex's ancient weapon project. A shard that now pulsed faintly beneath his vest, sending strange warmth through his chest like a second heartbeat. A rumble to his right. Dust sifted from the rocks. A figure emerged from the canyon's shadows, tall, regal, and unmistakably alien. Her armor shimmered in hues of obsidian and silver, her face marked with glowing veins of teal that pulsed in time with her breath. Oren raised his weapon, eyes narrowing. You lost, lady. The alien did not flinch. She stepped forward, gaze fixed on him. Her voice was low, melodic, but there was steel behind it. I tracked the signal here. The shard you carry does not belong to your kind. Oren let out a bitter laugh. Yeah? Well, your kind left it behind. I just picked up the trash. Her eyes narrowed. That trash could reignite a war that turned planets to ash. He stood, staggering slightly. You sound dramatic. I sound correct. Silence stretched between them as the wind howled through the canyon. Then she said, Give it to me. Oren shook his head. Not happening. Not until I know what it is and why it sings when I bleed. For a moment, her composure cracked. Surprise, maybe even fear, flickered across her face. You activated it? She whispered. Oren's hand dropped to his chest, to the shard. I think it activated me. The sound of boot steps echoed. The Cyrex patrols were closer. The alien warrior turned toward the noise, then looked back at him. We do not have time to argue, she said. My name is Solari Dareth. I came to retrieve the shard, and now, it seems, to protect its wielder. I never asked for protection, Oren muttered. No one ever does, she replied. Explosions burst from the southern ridge. Oren looked at her. Can you fight? Her lips curved into the faintest smile. Can you run? Not fast, he admitted, but I bounce well. Then stay close, human, Solari said, raising a blade of crackling energy. This night is not over. And together, they vanished into the chaos. The wind screamed through the jagged corridors of the canyon as Orin and Solari ducked into a crevice beneath a shelf of scorched rock. Plasma fire lit up the ridge above them, bright pulses slamming into stone with deafening cracks. Dust rained down, coating them in grit and ash. "Nice escape plan," Orin coughed, brushing debris from his hair. "Do you usually charge straight into gunfire? Or is today just special?" Solari did not glance his way. She crouched at the mouth of the crevice, blade still humming with residual energy. "We are alive. That means the plan worked." "That is not a plan," he muttered. "That is a gamble with a death wish." She looked back at him, one brow raised. "You complain too much for someone still breathing." "Thanks to my excellent reflexes." "Thanks to me," she corrected flatly. Orin scowled. "You know, for someone who just met me, you are remarkably full of yourself." "I did not come here to impress you, human. I came to recover the shard. But now..." She trailed off, eyes narrowing as she turned her gaze to him fully. The faint glow on his chest had not dimmed. If anything, it had grown stronger since they ran. "What?" he asked. "You are changing." Orin blinked. "Excuse me, your body is resonating with the shard. That should not be possible. Not for a Terran." "Well, lucky me, I am full of surprises." Solari stepped closer. Her hand hovered near the glowing pulse beneath his vest. "May I?" Orin hesitated. Then, reluctantly, he pulled the fabric aside, revealing the shard embedded in a metal clasp over his sternum. It pulsed like a living thing, veins of blue light reaching across his skin in a delicate web. Solari's voice was a whisper now. "This is older than your world. It was never meant to awaken in a human host." He stared at her. "Then why did it?" Before she could answer, a sharp hiss filled the air. A drone. Cyrex tech, small but deadly. It hovered at the edge of the crevice, scanning. Orin reacted first, grabbing a rock and hurling it. The drone dipped, dodged, and fired. "Down!" Solari tackled him as the beam sliced past. Her blade flashed, severing the drone in midair. Sparks flew. The drone exploded against the far wall. Orin exhaled, heart pounding. "Okay, that was close." Solari rolled off him, her breathing even. "We're out of time. They know exactly where we are. Then let us move." "Not yet," she said, rising. "You need to understand something. Can it wait until we are not being hunted?" No, her voice was firm now. "That shard does not just open doors. It chooses who walks through them. You are bonded to it now. That means they will never stop coming." Orin stood, dusting off. "Then I guess I'd better learn how to use it." Solari's gaze lingered on him for a moment longer. "Then stay close and do exactly what I say." He grinned. "Bossy." She turned and started climbing. Alive. Behind them, the ruins of Kirill, 5, trembled with distant thunder. The real hunt had just begun. The night deepened, painting the sky in endless black above the shifting sands of Kirill's dead plains. Orin's boots crunched softly as he followed Solari through the skeletal remains of an ancient satellite station, its twisted towers rising like broken fingers. The wind here carried a strange hum, as if the metal ruins remembered voices that had long since died. Orin tilted his head. "Creepy place for a stroll. You bring all your guests to haunted ruins." Solari did not answer immediately. She moved with purpose, scanning the environment with sharp, trained eyes. "This station predates your presence on Kirill. Long ago, it was a listening post. For what? No one knows anymore. The Cyrex avoided." "Great," Orin muttered. "So let us hide in the one place that gives even the psychopaths the creeps." "Fantastic." She paused, suddenly alert. Her arm raised, signaling him to stop. "There," she said softly. "Motion. South corridor." Orin dropped into a crouch. "Could be a scout. Or a drone. Or worse," Solari replied, her voice cold. A flicker of movement passed through the corridor ahead. A faint sound followed. Not footsteps. A dragging noise. Something wet. Orin frowned. What the hell was that? Before Solari could respond, the thing came into view. It was humanoid, barely, but its limbs were stretched and wrong, its face half-masked by metallic growths. Its eyes glowed faint red, twitching as it locked onto them. Orin recoiled. "That is not Cyrex." "No," Solari said grimly. "It is one of their failures." The creature lunged. Solari moved instantly, blades slicing a clean arc of light. The thing dodged unnaturally fast, claws sweeping toward her face. Orin fired his pistol, the plasma bolt slamming into its shoulder, but the thing did not slow. It shrieked, an inhuman sound that echoed through the steel halls. Orin ducked a swipe aimed at his throat, rolled behind a pillar, and shouted, "I thought you said they avoided this place." "I said they feared it," Solari growled, landing a solid kick to the creature's chest. "I never said they were smart." Together, they fought in perfect rhythm. Her blade struck high. His plasma burst low. The creature wailed and twisted, but it could not match their fury. Finally, with a vicious thrust, Solari impaled it through the chest. It spasmed once, then collapsed in a smoking heap. Breathing heavily, Orin leaned against the wall. "I'm going to start charging hazard pay for this." Solari wiped her blade clean with practiced ease. "You volunteered for none of this. Yet you remain." He shrugged, trying to hide the shake in his hands. "Maybe I'm just stubborn." "Maybe," she said, studying him. "Or maybe the shard is beginning to change more than your body." He looked down at the glow beneath his vest. "What do you mean?" "It is ancient tech, Orin, designed to bond with a mind, not just a body. That bond rewrites things." "Like what?" he asked. Solari turned toward the shattered central terminal of the station. "Like fate." He swallowed, following her into the dark. Behind them, the corpse twitched once more, then went still. The console room of the station was a rusted tomb, its panels long dead and half devoured by creeping vines that had no right surviving in the barren climate of Kirill 5. Blue light from Orin's shard cast strange shadows on the walls, as if the old machines were stirring from slumber just to listen. Solari brushed aside layers of dust from a console, her fingers dancing across ancient keys with the ease of someone familiar with forgotten languages. "This place feels cursed," Orin muttered, his voice low. "Cursed?" she replied without looking at him. "No, just waiting." "Waiting for what?" "For someone foolish enough to wake it." Orin shifted uneasily. "Fantastic. So we are officially the fools now." She looked up. "You always were." Orin smirked. "You're starting to sound like a friend." "Should I be worried?" "I do not have friends," she said flatly. "I have allies. Temporarily." "Ouch." Before she could reply, the console flared to life with a high-pitched whine. Symbols, circular, elegant, and utterly alien, scrolled across the cracked screen. Orin flinched as the shard on his chest pulsed in time with the data stream. Solari's eyes widened. "It recognizes you." "I'm not doing anything." "You're the interface now." "I'm the what now?" A blinding light erupted from the terminal, filling the chamber. Orin staggered back, shielding his eyes. His mind spun as images flashed behind his eyelids. Cities of crystal and flame, ships that danced between stars, a throne made of light, and then a scream. He gasped, dropping to one knee. Solari knelt beside him instantly. "What did you see?" He clutched his head. "Too much. Like someone poured the universe into my skull and expected me to swallow it." "Focus," she urged. "Was there a pattern? Coordinates? A name?" Orin forced his eyes open. There was a voice. It said, "Voltrex." "That mean anything to you?" Solari's expression darkened. "It is a myth. A warlord from the old cycles. He vanished after the core wars." "Good. So myths are real now." "Perfect." "No. Worse," she said, standing. "It means someone is trying to wake him." A low rumble shook the station, as if in answer. Orin scrambled to his feet. "Tell me that was just this place falling apart." "No," she said. "That was a signal. You just sent a beacon." "To whom?" Solari's hand tightened on her blade. "Everyone." An alert flared across the console. Incoming ships. Fast. Multiple. They're already here, she said. You said this place was dead. I was wrong. I hate it when you are wrong. Solari grabbed his arm, dragging him toward the rear corridor. Move. Now. Outside, the sky had shifted. Black streaks pierced the stars above them, ships diving toward the planet like daggers. As they ran into the howling wind, Oren shouted over the rising storm. You still think I'm just a thief with a lucky shard? Solari glanced back, eyes fierce. No, now I think you are the fuse to a forgotten war. And the ground beneath their feet began to shake. The dust storm swallowed the horizon as Oren and Solari sprinted across the broken flats, the hum of descending ships growing louder with every heartbeat. The ground trembled beneath them, ancient tech groaning beneath layers of forgotten Earth. Somewhere deep below, something was waking up. Oren's voice came through the roar of the wind. Any bright ideas on where we are running to? Or was this just a general run-for-your-life kind of plan? Solari replied without looking back. There's a hidden chamber beneath the listening post. Shielded. Sealed. But if the shard responded to the console, it might respond there too. Fantastic, he shouted. You are basing our survival on a might. That is better than nothing. Oren ducked as a plasma round scorched the air above his head. Someone is shooting at our might. They dove behind the rusted shell of an old transport frame. Above them, sleek Cyrex dropships howled past, kicking up blasts of sand and static. From the side ramps, black-armored figures emerged, cold, efficient, eyes glowing crimson behind metallic masks. Solari drew her blade. They brought ghost units. Oren peeked out, then pulled back fast. I do not like the word ghost when we are in the middle of nowhere with no backup. They are elite enforcers, she said, trained to hunt relic bearers. They will not stop until we are dead, or worse. Define worse. They take your mind, twist it, hollow it out, turn you into one of them. Oren paled. That is plenty worse, thank you. Solari touched the shard through his vest. You cannot let them take it. If it falls into Cyrex's hands, yeah, Oren interrupted, voice tight. Boom. Galaxy-wide catastrophe. Got it. He loaded the last energy cell into his pistol. Let us make it to this hidden chamber before that happens. They moved as one, darting through wreckage, dodging fire. Every few seconds, Oren's chest flared with blue light, almost guiding them forward. Then they reached the edge of the collapsed platform that once supported a landing array. Below it, hidden beneath twisted scaffolding and rock, was a circular hatch, barely visible, but unmistakably old tech. That it? He asked, breath ragged. Solari nodded. Help me clear it. Together, they shoved aside debris. The hatch pulsed faintly when Oren's hand touched it. It knows me, he whispered. Then open it, Solari said, watching the ridge behind them. Oren pressed his palm flat. The shard pulsed. A soft chime echoed. Then the hatch split open, revealing a dark spiral stairwell descending into silence. Go, she ordered. They slipped inside just as the first ghost unit crested the hill. A flash of red light cut the air where Oren had just stood. The hatch sealed behind them. Total darkness. Then, lights flickered to life along the stairs, illuminating symbols neither of them recognized, swirling patterns like constellations frozen in stone. Solari stared, a softening her voice. This is no listening post. This is a key vault. Oren's mouth went dry. What does that mean? It means the shard chose you for a reason. Above them, the door shuddered under impact, and whatever was buried down here was about to reveal itself. The stairwell wound downward like the spine of some forgotten giant. Every step echoed with a hollow clang, the sound swallowed quickly by the cold air pressing in around them. Oren's fingers brushed the wall as they descended, feeling the pulse of ancient energy humming beneath the surface. It resonated with the shard in his chest, as though the whole structure were holding its breath, waiting for him. Solari walked ahead, blade still drawn, her movements tense. Cyrex did not build this place, she said quietly. The architecture, it is too old. Too clean. Too clean. Orin muttered. Great. Even the Doom has better interior design than my apartment. She glanced over her shoulder. You still had an apartment? Had. Past tense. Let us just say Cyrex recruitment does not appreciate whistleblowers. The stairs ended at a wide chamber, its floor made of translucent stone that shimmered faintly underfoot. Massive pillars lined the walls, etched with the same starlit symbols from before. At the center stood a platform with a pedestal, empty except for a cradle carved perfectly to fit something shard-shaped. Orin stepped forward, drawn to it. I think this is it, he said, voice distant. This is where it goes. Solari gripped his arm. Wait, we do not know what activating it will do. He turned to her, eyes lit with soft blue light. And if we wait, the ghost units breach the hatch, and we never find out. She hesitated, then nodded. Place it, but be ready for anything. Orin removed the shard from its clasp. The moment it left his chest, he gasped, like something warm and familiar had been ripped from him. His hands trembled as he placed it into the cradle. Silence. Then a low hum filled the chamber. The walls vibrated. Light shot up the pillars, dancing along the carvings. A dome above them opened to reveal a night sky swirling with stars, but not Kirill's sky. A projection, a star map. Orin stared, mouth dry. That is not our galaxy. Solari's eyes widened. No, it is older. A different quadrant. Before the burn. Before the burn, he repeated. Before history erased everything beyond the core worlds. Before Cyrex. Before the archives. This is a pre-cataclysmic map. So why is it showing up now? As if to answer, the pedestal shifted. Another shape rose from within. An orb suspended in a cradle of light. It pulsed once, then projected a figure into the center of the chamber. A man, not human, tall, robed in fractured light, with hollow eyes and a voice that spoke directly into their minds. If you have found this, the vault is breached. Vale Threx has awakened. Solari froze. No, that is impossible. The figure continued. The one who bears the shard must choose. Unlock the gateway and unite the remnants, or seal it and let the stars burn alone. Orin took a step back. What gateway? What remnants? The projection turned to him. You are the vessel. Your choice binds us all. Before Orin could speak, the ceiling trembled. Dust rained down. Solari looked up sharply. They are breaking through. The figure's final words echoed as the projection faded. One path leads to rebirth, the other to extinction. Orin stared at the orb, breath caught in his throat. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? Solari met his gaze. You have one chapter left to find the answer. The ceiling above them cracked wide with a deafening roar. A blast of red light tore through the dust, scorching the edge of the chamber. Ghost units poured through the breach, silent, efficient, their weapons raised in unison. Solari spun, blade igniting with a piercing screech of energy. They are here. Orin backed toward the pedestal, heart pounding, eyes flicking between the glowing orb and the advancing soldiers. The last words of the projection echoed in his mind. One path leads to rebirth, the other to extinction. What do I do? He yelled. Solari slashed through the first wave of attackers, her movements precise and deadly. You choose, Orin, the gateway or the seal. I do not know what that means. Then listen to your instincts. A plasma bolt screamed toward him. Solari intercepted it midair, her blade spinning into a searing arc. She shouted, You were not chosen because you knew the way. You were chosen because you would walk it. Orin's breath caught. He looked at the orb. His fingers hovered above it. Images flickered in his mind. The star map, Vale, Threx's hollow eyes, Solari's voice, the pain of being hunted, the warmth of the shard. Then something deeper, a whisper, not in his ears, in his blood. He touched the orb. Light exploded outward, engulfing the entire chamber in a cascading wave of blue. The ghost units froze mid-attack. Their weapons sparked and fell from their hands. One by one, they collapsed lifeless. The ground pulsed beneath Orin's feet. Solari lowered her blade, staring in awe. "What did you do?" "I connected it," Orin said, voice trembling. "It showed me what they were trying to build. The vaults, the map, the shards, it was all part of the network." He turned to her, the glow in his eyes fading slowly. It was not just about sealing or unlocking. It was about choosing to carry the burden or letting it die. Solari walked closer, the silence of the ruined chamber settling between them. "You chose to carry it. I chose not to be afraid of it anymore." A soft hum rose from the platform. The orb sank back into its cradle, and the floor beneath them shifted. A hidden door opened, revealing a narrow path bathed in violet light. Orin exhaled. "I think that is the way forward." "Then we walk it together," Solari said. He looked at her, eyes softening. "You sure you do not want to go back to being a temporary ally?" She almost smiled. Too late. They stepped onto the path. As they walked, Solari asked, "Do you think Veil Threx is really alive?" "No," Orin said, "but someone is trying to become him." Solari nodded slowly. "Then we stop them." "We will," Orin replied. "One vault at a time." Behind them, the ancient chamber sealed shut, its message delivered, its purpose fulfilled for now. Above, the stars shifted, and somewhere in the vast dark, echoes of old wars stirred. But on Kirill 5, beneath the weight of destiny and ash, two warriors walked toward whatever came next. One born of war, the other born of choice. Together, they carried the future. Here is the story's end. If you enjoyed and want to watch more thrilling sci-fi adventures, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Dive into epic battles, explore distant galaxies, and join brave heroes as they fight for survival against impossible odds. Let us know in the comments if you want the next chapters to be published soon. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and become part of the journey. Together, we'll keep the last light burning. Subscribe now and let the adventure continue.